Well, there's just what is this, and this, what is, can never really be described, can never be explained, it can never be understood, because there's no separation. Even what appears to be a separation is just what is, this, everything appearing as a imaginary separation. There is no real separation here. There is already nobody who separates from this, what is. Even when it appears that there is separation, this is already no separation. This is already everything, which may appear as thoughts, sensations, misunderstanding, confusion, wandering. So that, behind all that, there is nobody. Everything seems to arise from this, as this, and it's not personal. This, as it is, isn't happening to anybody. If it seems to happen to somebody, that's just a dream appearing in this, as this. There is nobody here already to get this or not. There's just this. There's nobody to collapse. There's nobody to fall away because there is already no separate doer of what's just happening. There's already nobody to find this. There's already nobody who's listening. And there is already nobody who's talking about this or on behalf of this. There's just this. And this right here, it doesn't know anything. It doesn't possess great knowledge, and this isn't enlightened. There's nobody here who is enlightened. There's nobody here who will, because of what is being spoken here, who will eventually fall away. There's just this. If that seems to happen, there is just another story appearing in this, as this. But there is nobody who's really here that can just collapse one day, or recognize that there's just totality. There's nobody. So that which seems to be searching, the experience of separation, is already what is already totality, appearing as an experience of separation. There is nobody there who's separate from totality, from this. All there is this, leaves nothing else. Nothing is excluded from this, because everything is this. So anything may arise here, questions, wondering, hopelessness, joy, peace. It doesn't really matter. Everything seems to appear and disappear from that which is not appearing or disappearing. And what seems to appear is not separate from this. And that which seems to appear is not appearing to anybody. There is nobody behind what seems to appear in this. There's just this also appearing, I would say, to itself. So if there are questions, if there is sharing appearing, well, it is welcomed.
Good evening, Nkosi. Hold on.
Evening, Naina.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me okay?
Yes. Yes, I can.
Okay. I'm grateful to be here. There's a lot of gratitude. Would you say that the purpose of being here is to recognize this as it is, to relieve the suffering? Is that the purpose and the reason why we're here? A lot of people are searching for happiness. So when the recognition comes and arrives, and it's here to stay, this recognition of this, will it ever go away again? Will that ignorance come back, or is it always in the moment that the ignorance might come back, and then the recognition comes back? Like, does it go back and forth, or does it disappear and it's forever? Or is it always going to be intermittent? if you will. Like a back and a forth. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I remembered. Oh, I forgot. I've remembered. I know that's all this too.
Yeah.
But it's just, does that stop appearing?
Um, well, there is no purpose. There's no purpose. There's just what's happening. And what's happening isn't personal. Isn't personal. It might be an experience there that what's happening, it's happening to me. I'm attending the meeting, but there's just a dream appearing in this. There's just this also expressing as that. So, what was your next question?
um, the function, I guess, of our life here
Yeah,
is to recognize this, right? And
yeah,
because when we're born, we don't recognize this. When we're born as a child, a baby, and then growing up, like we have to come to that recognition. That recognition has to arrive within the mind, so to speak. Otherwise, we keep searching and searching and stay in suffering. But the suffering ends when it's realized that this is all there is. And then the searching ends. And it's realized that it never, there was no reason to search, I guess. But we need to, there has to be a recognition, or there's always going to be this suffering.
Well, I may say that there is nobody to
Right.
recognize this, and there's no we
Mm.
that's it's suffering. It's just what's happening. There's nobody behind what seems to be happening. There's nobody behind anything. There's nobody to suffer already. An experience of suffering itself is not personal, is not happening to somebody. It's just what appears in this. This isn't limited. This may arise as anything. This may appear as anything. It may appear as somebody who's searching, who's not satisfied. It may appear as somebody who's really getting somewhere. It may appear as somebody who's there. It may appear as somebody who's losing what is, but all those are just, it's just a dream appearing in this. There's nobody who's suffering. There's nobody who's getting anywhere. There's nobody who's even searching. There's just what's happening or what seems to be happening. There's nobody behind anything. This isn't happening to anybody. There may be thoughts that seem to appear that, oh, it's happening to me. That's this too appearing as that. That's not to say there's somebody who separates because of those thoughts that from time to time they appear and disappear. Somehow everything seems to come and go. And there is nobody already behind anything. There's just what's happening. And this may appear to say, but I'm not satisfied. No, I need more. That's this too. There's no real somebody who can actually say anything. You have never done anything. You have never said anything. You have never gone anywhere.
So if recognition happens, is that also a story? Like to talk about recognition happening? Is that, or is that really happening? The recognition of this, is that too a story? Or is it, or is that just simply what's arising in this?
Yeah, it's simply what's arising in this. Yet it may seem to be a story when somebody seems to recognize
Mm, right,
this. That's just a story, but yet is also this appearing as that. That's not to say if it seems to be the story, then it's something else. It's also what is appearing as that, because there is no separation. If
right. And the
somebody says,
resonance.
if somebody
Sorry.
says, I remember when I remember when back in the days I used to like to be in this, it was so peaceful and loving, so wonderful. But um, there was a time when I woke up in the morning, it was all gone. I lost it. That's too. It's just this totality appearing is that nobody really got anything and nobody lost anything. This can't be begotten. Sorry, this can't be known. This can't be understood. There is already no one here to understand anything, to know anything, or to get anything. You never came here. The experience of coming here is just also what seems to arise in this, to appear in this. If something seems to say, oh, I came here, I was busy with the dishes now, I finished and then I had to attend the meeting. That's what seems to appear in this. Nobody is here. There's nobody here. That's just what's happening. You never really go anywhere. They are just thoughts appearing to say, now I'm driving to work. But I hope I'm going to be early today. It's just those are just thoughts running, appearing in this as this. So everything is already nameless. Everything is already empty. There may seem to be labels, labels appearing, like saying this is a computer screen, or I see the room, I see there's a light, or there's darkness. Those are just labels, but everything is already nameless. And the labels too, they are empty. Labels too are just what is appearing as labels to nobody. Anger may seem to arise, frustration may seem to arise, but there is nobody behind it. If something seems to say, oh, it's happening to me, that's just a story. This isn't happening to anybody. Quarreling, joy, happiness isn't happening to anybody. Listening isn't being done by anybody. The seeing itself, the seeing itself has no seer. The seeing itself doesn't have any gender. The seeing doesn't see anything. But in the story, there may be an imaginary seer as well as an imaginary uh, or that which is seen can be just also imaginary. But the seeing itself is not imagined. It is not a man or a woman. It doesn't have any gender. It doesn't have any agenda. It's not waiting for anything to happen. It's not trying to get anywhere. It's not expecting anything. It's just seeing. It doesn't have any race. It doesn't have any color. It doesn't have past, future, present. It's just seeing. It is already empty. It is already this. What is? It's neither happy nor sad. It is already neutral. So it doesn't really mind. It can be given so many names, but itself as it is, it's already nameless. It is also that which seems to appear as everything. It is that which seems to say, oh, but you know, I'm getting somewhere. I can feel it. I can feel it in my soul, in my mind. It is already everything, yet it's nothing. it can never really be pointed at because it's not separate. There's no separation. It's whole and complete. It's wholeness already. It is already the question. It is already an answer. It's already everything or nothing. So you are not already. It's simply what is this. This can't be known. This can't be said. This is beyond any description. This is no story. There is really nothing here to find. There's really nothing to get because there's nobody to get anything. There's just what is. It's just this. There's nobody who's waiting for anything to happen here. There's just this. There's no decision maker, even when it seems as if there's an experience of somebody taking a decision. That's just this appearing as that. Even when there's an experience of somebody who's walking in the streets, there's nobody who's walking. There's just this appearing as that. Or what seems to be a separate self always claims that, oh, I'm doing this, or I'm walking, or I'm thinking, I'm asking a question now, I'm waiting, I feel peace, I feel love. That's beautiful too, because that too is an expression of this. That's not to say it's wrong or right. It's just what seems to happen. It's, it's not personal already. This is freedom for nobody. So the separate self, it doesn't exist. It never existed and it will never exist. So it can never fall away. But something may seem to stop, and then there might be a recognition that it never happened in the first place. That's just a story. There may seem to be a knowledge in the memory that I'm a woman. I was born in a certain location. I grew up in a certain location. I went to a certain school. I studied certain subjects. Then I became a doctor. Now I live somewhere, but there's just a knowledge in the memory that doesn't even exist. It's just a knowledge. There's nobody there. It's just a story. And right now, where is the story? Is there a story here? So the story is already not here. It's just an imagination. Same as the separate self is imagined. There's nobody here who's separate. There's no woman or man here. There are no human beings. There's just this, nothing being everything. And there's nobody to die because nobody has ever been born. And there's nobody who's living life here. Nobody can never can can really die because there's nobody who's living already. There's just what is. It's just this. Somebody who's living life, that's just a story. And that's not to say it's wrong or right. It's just what seems to happen. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So this what is already effortless. There's no effort here. That's what seems to be an effort may seem to appear in that or from that which is already effortless. But efforts being made It's just that which is already effortless appearing as an effort or making efforts. And this right here isn't talking to anybody. It's just talking happening. This message is not for you. And it's not a message. It is nothing. Nothing happening. Nobody came here. Nobody here. Just this. What is? There's nobody to get this. It's just this. There's nobody to convince. There's nobody to save. This isn't trying to save the whole world. Because there's no world to save. There's just this expressing as everything. And this is not even this. There's really nothing to hold on to. It is already weightless. There's no weights here. And these weights, they just, or what seems to be weights, they just keeping on coming. They keep on coming. I don't know where they're coming from. And this is neither meaningful nor meaningless. This is neutrality. There are no opposites here. This is already empty and full. This is everything. And nothing. There is no escape. Every direction taken is already this. Every thought, every sensation. Searching, no searching. Walking, no walking. Waiting, no waiting. Doesn't matter. Everything is this. Even when it seems to matter, it's beautiful. Because there's nobody behind that. It's just this expressing as that. Jealousy isn't for anybody. Anger isn't for anybody. Confusion, it's just this appearing as confusion. So that's just what seems to be happening. And this, it becomes a story when what seems to be happening, it seems to happen to somebody. But this as it is, it's beautiful. It's okay. Just this isn't a story. But when this seems to happen to somebody, it becomes a story. Yeah, it's the story too, is an expression of this. The body is already empty. There's nobody looking from behind those eyes. And the story may seem to be attached or imposed in this, yet it's also an expression of this. But this as it is already not a story. So there's nowhere to get to. There's nothing to achieve. There's nobody to find anything. There's nobody who's seeking. It's just this, which is already empty and full. All these bodies are empty. And thoughts can never really be found. They seem to be there, but when there is looking happening, it is seen that they are not there already. Same as when the room is dark, and you turn on or switch on the lights, darkness disappears. So thoughts seem to be there, but when they are looked for, it is seen that they are not there. And the looking is not being done by somebody. The me has never done anything. And what seems to be the me, whether it seems to fall away or not, it doesn't really matter because everything is this. So this is not suppressing anything. Everything is allowed to be as it is without judgment. Yet judgment may seem to arise in the story. It's also beautiful, because also it's just an expression of this. Nothing needs to happen for this to be what it is. There must be something other than this. It's just a dream or a story appearing in this, or this appearing as that. All searching, all looking, meditation, no meditation. Going to the shopping center, coming back, going to the office, spending time with family isn't being done by anybody. There's no doer of anything. There's just this, everything, totality, what is, no thing appearing as that. So the doer of things is nothing but a thought constructs, which is also what is appearing as that. It's just a thought. It's not a big deal. It's just a thought. No you there already. No woman, no man already. Nobody to feel peace. Nobody to feel anger. Just what's happening. This. Well, today words they kept on coming here, coming up the whole apparent hour.
It's much appreciated.
You're
Yes,
welcome.
thank you.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Very helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, are there any last questions or comments before we close?
I just wanted to say I'm sorry, but I didn't realize the time changed. So I missed the whole hour, but I'll listen to the recording.
Okay. You're welcome, Alice, always.
Nice to see you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
night.
Thank
See you.
you. Bye.
See you on
Bye-bye.
Wednesday.
Okay.